For every child, the first 1,000 days of life offer an unparalleled window of opportunity for growth. 90% of brain development occurs by age 3, with more than 1 million neural connections forming every second. These connections build the very architecture of our brain, establishing the foundation for future learning, including our cognitive and social emotional development.
Over the past couple of decades, one of the things that we've found about brain development is the necessity of relationships for the brain to develop. So through experiences with people and relations, the brain seems to expand and really light up in ways that we're finding are critical to later development.
At Bank Street, we offer even the youngest children a carefully constructed environment designed to nurture development and learning. Such high-quality care is particularly important for children exposed to multiple risk factors, such as poverty and toxic stress, which can disrupt the healthy development of brain architecture, setting the stage for the opportunity gap we see in schools today.
Families are really struggling to find quality care settings. If you look across the options that are available, only about 25% of them are good. Children are in a context where they're often not being talked to very much, not able to develop really strong relationships with the caregivers or teachers that they're working with. They're often restrained in a high chair or in a crib with the TV going on in the background. And what we also know is that you can change that.
To help address this critical issue, Bank Street is expanding its reach into local neighborhoods to help support the needs of all children. In 2016, the Gutman Center for Early Care and Education at Bank Street began partnering with communities in East New York, Brooklyn, to help caregivers, educators, and families build the hands-on skills and strategies that help babies, infants, and toddlers flourish.
When very young children have access to quality early care and education in their first educational spaces, it looks like a teacher who's developing secure relationships with that child. It looks like a teacher who is encouraging that child to grow and develop cognitively and socio-emotionally. And when a young child has that foundation, it makes it easier for them once they move on to their ongoing schooling.
I was inspired to enhance my program. Childcare providers come from a field where we're pulling from different resources to learn how to teach younger children, our infants. And what Gutman Center offered was our well-being mentally, emotionally, in order to care and nurture the children.
The Gutman Center has a twofold model. On the one hand, we have the coursework where providers come together on Saturday mornings. We also have a coaching aspect, and the coaches go to visit providers in between each class. And their job is also sort of twofold. On the one hand, they're tasked with helping the providers translate the content from the class into their own programs, and they're also really tasked with sitting down with providers and helping them identify the goals and the strategies they have to improve their practice and their programs.
Bank Street is where progressive education begins, and for many of our families, the Family Center is the entry point for the journey.
The education that children get at Bank Street, I think, is something that is quite unique, and they pick up how to work with others. And I think that act of being part of the community, being part of a social group, even though they know how to think independently, which is what Bank Street encourages.
At the Bank Street Family Center, educators work with children aged 6 months to 3 years to help them build the skills essential for lifelong success.
I really think that a big part of it is just kind of the whole child experience and considering who is a whole child, like not just their school experiences, but also thinking about their home experiences and their community experiences and just how all of that kind of informs the teachers' interactions with the children in the classroom.
It's our hope that Bank Street will continue to expand its research and programs to help create positive change in the lives of children and their families all across the country. Join us as we work towards bringing effective teaching and learning practices to communities, educators, and children across the country to help all children thrive in school and in life.